myself and Twitch, who was at a young age getting heavily tattooed, and Colin Morrison, and Mike Metzger, who's a tattoo artist, and Brian Deegan. We all kind of lived this lifestyle in this image, and going back 10 years ago when we all kind of went down this path, we were always kind of like the outcast, and it was kind of cool.
Once all the boys knew that we were going to tour with Carey and Pink and the whole H&H thing, it was all systems go. Rockstar lifestyle.
Trying to tie everything about the California lifestyle into one big festival, so tattooing, music, fashion, cars, bikes.
Back home, especially on the West Coast, you have what we kind of call the 909 culture, like the Southern California freestyle motocross culture, and it's the black T-shirts and the Dickies and the straight-billed hats and heavy tattoos and all that stuff.
Southern California has always been the hub of freestyle motocross, not just in America, but on a worldwide scale. All the Metal Militia guys are from there. Most of the old guy Krusty guys are from there as well. It's just one of those places that seems to just resound with freestyle motocross.
Things have definitely changed, but in the early days, you weren't rich if you raced motocross. You were that white trash kid, and your dad probably had a big hot rod at home, and you had your dirt bike in the garage. I mean, that's how I grew up. And and to kind of see how there's like a resurgence of all this, with how fashion is meeting, hot rod culture and motorcycle culture. It's kind of cool to see like how all the dots are kind of starting to connect slowly over time, because it wasn't that way years ago.
But now, the culture of freestyle it's a big business.
It was 2003, and I was kind of at the prime time of my career, and everything was going really good. And luckily enough, at that point, I decided to do my first tattoo shop, Hart Tattoo, and it was just a novelty. I'm living back in Las Vegas, and it's kind of like my clubhouse type thing. I like to hang out in tattoo shops, so I started doing all the fundamentals for opening my tattoo shop. And the end of 2002, beginning of 2003, somewhere in there, I was heading out to go do the Tony Hawk tour, the Boom Boom Hook Jam tour, and I had pretty much what's considered a career-ending injury on it. I had to avoid hitting one of the skaters, and I had to jump into the vert ramp on my bike and broke both legs and both arms really, really bad, and actually almost killed me. I almost died in surgery, and then I was on 24-hour surveillance for about 4 weeks for blood clotting, and they had to do a couple emergency surgeries on me, and it was a pretty hectic, stressful time. And once I finally did, I get out of the hospital a month later. Now I was in a wheelchair, 2 broken legs, 2 broken arms, and the doctors told me I'm never going to be able to ride again. You know what I mean? It was pretty much expected that. Kind of at that point, luckily enough, I started this whole process with a tattoo shop, and I just put kind of like my same work ethic I did with motocross, just like any rider does. Like, you go out and it's a full-time job. You practice, you train, you do the circuit. I kind of put that same idea into my business. And from that was the opening of the first shop, and we did our TV show, and, and then progressing into clothing and opening more shops. So, for that, for about that 5-year window, all I did was focus on business, and luckily enough, in that short run of 5 years, I went from one tattoo shop to doing 2 seasons of Inked and 4 tattoo shops later and starting to build a successful clothing brand.
Back up for the day. This one's for you, H&H. Australia.
The biggest pussy of them all. He's all show no go. That's what you can say. What is that? Oh, yeah, I was talking about that.